So it is that time of year where we flip through every single one of my binders to see what photocards that I have. It is a tedious video to film, but I am doing it. I'm doing it on the floor so I have easier access to my binders, because up on my table my binders are nowhere near close, so I am accommodating it for myself, for my comfort. But we have a lot to go through. I'm gonna try not to ramble too much throughout this video because I don't want this video to be super long, but it's gonna be long nonetheless because I have, let me count. I'm gonna count these ones too. 35 binders. Yeah, 35 binders. That's not as bad as some people, but it's pretty bad. So yeah, we'll just get started with these binders over here. These are my miscellaneous binders. All of these used to be in one big 3-inch binder, but since I moved my collections around, I realized I didn't have a need for these binders anymore. But I really like these binders, so I decided to put my misc groups in here. So they're kind of separated in these binders with their own little themes. So we're just gonna get right into it. There is going to be a glare because I have the overhead light on. I can maybe get away without it though. It's really nice outside. So in this first binder, we have like my forever alts, groups that kind of sort of no longer, groups that no longer exist, but were alts at one point. So I just have them in here. So we first start off with my Good Day collection technically, but it's signature and iris. I did have red square cards at one point, but I don't anymore. But if you're unaware, Good Day was a group under C9, same company as CIX, who got disbanded after one song and then split. Some members stayed under C9, went into signature, some members left, went into red square. That group disbanded, they went to iris. We don't know what's going on with iris. Some of the signature members left. It's a big story. But Good Day were like an alt of mine, so when they re-debuted as signature, I decided to keep on collecting and just collect every member that was in Good Day, like whatever their projects may be. It is not a complete collection whatsoever, but it's always a collection that I'm willing to grow, but it's a little bit hard to find these cards. So she went through multiple names, but Jihoon is her legal name. She was my bias from Good Day onwards. She's always been my bias, so I do have more of her cards because she left after this era. So, and then we have the other ones that were in Good Day for signature. I have nothing for their last 2 eras for signature. And then we have Iris. I do have some pre-order cards just because they were pretty cheap on Mercari Japan. Then we have Halo, who is another one of like an old alt of mine that disbanded pretty early on. So I have an almost complete collection. I used to have more of these cards, but I got rid of them, but I'm missing a few. But I'll find them eventually, maybe someday. And these are some of their Japanese cards. And then we have Speed, who is, again, another alt of mine who disbanded. Jihoon is my bias, so that's why I have 2. I want multiple of each member, but it's been kind of hard to find. I'm surprised I was even able to find another copy of this Jihoon. I think it was on Sudugaya. So I do have the full set, including the group card for Superior Speed, their only photo card set. So yeah, that is it for this binder. And then we have this binder, who is just After School and Snooper. Technically, like, these 2 groups should be in other binders, but because both of these groups have larger cards, I felt it was appropriate to put them together. And After School is another group that I would like to collect in full because I love their Japanese cards so much. But they're a little bit hard to find, and honestly, I haven't really looked for them in a while. So these are just the cards that I have on hand at the moment for them. Miraculously, they fit in this. I have these pages in like 2 different types. These like specific ones I got with like the hard checkerboard binders that I don't use anymore. but they fit in these with no sleeve, but you know. And then I have Snooper, who have some larger cards, but I do have my Sango collection first. So when I put my Snooper cards in here, I hadn't put all of them. I had only put like the ones that I really liked, and I was like, I'm just gonna get rid of the rest. But who in the hell would buy Snooper cards, except for that one person who bought all of my Snooper cards like 3 years ago? And now I had to buy back. Well, it was Sango, like all of my Sango cards pretty much, because the ones that I have left over were like duplicates that I had. But then the news came that Sango is gonna debut in a new group with Yusong from Big Flow, who goes by Eden now, and with like other former idols. And I'm like, you're telling me that you put Sango and Yusong in one group and nobody told me about this previously? Like, hello, Yusong was my first Big Flow bias. Hello? So I have all of Sango's cards that I have left. I kind of want to finish his cards, and then I have all of the rest of the Snooper cards that I have currently, because when it was announced that they disbanded, I went on Mercari Japan and I bought big ass sets. The only Snooper member that I don't have any cards for is Sibin, because I couldn't find any good sets for him, because he's slightly more popular because he's in Omega X. So I have cards for every other member except him. And I think I have pretty much all of Sangil's cards too, because the set that I got had almost all of his cards. Like, this is all Sangil. So yeah, that is the end of this binder. I'm still not sure how strawberry equals purple, but we're moving along from that. And then we have this binder, which includes kind of like disbanded boy groups biases that I have a lot of cards for, or people that left the group or whatever. It's this binder and the next binder, which is the girl group equivalent of it, is kind of a weird binder for me. It's basically cards that I can't let go of, but also cards that I know nobody else wants. So we start off with Goyu from Blitzers. He left the group, so I was actively trying to collect him, at least his album cards, but I still don't have all of them, so I just put him in here. So I'm just gonna focus on my Jinhwa collection. Then we have Jibom from Golden Child. He left the group, so I was literally taking him out and trying to like get rid of his cards when he announced he left, and I was like, you're coming back in. I need to keep the cards I have from you at least, because starting from here is the Feel Me era. I got like a set of almost all of his pre-order cards from that era, and I was like, I can't get rid of these, like, come on. And then we have Kai from Mire. Mire also disbanded, which is sad because I really like them. So I have like album cards and pre-order cards mixed in because Mire are very cheap on Mercari Japan. So I ended up with like a lot of pretty big sets for him. And then at the back, I have my secret Yuta collection. I don't really collect NCT. I don't really care for their music, but I treat Yuta as a J-pop idol because, well, first of all, I need to get some stuff from his solo debut. I need to get some of that. And second of all, he was in a Japanese movie with my actual J-pop idol faves. So he's an honorary J-pop idol. And I have this 10 from Super M that was gifted to me quite a while ago. So he stays there. Oh yeah. I got all of those Yutas from trades when I had like put up his wish list once. And then a few people like just traded me a bunch of Yuta cards and I was like, I will take those. Thank you. And then we have the girl group equivalent of the disbanded biases, or whatever you want to call it. This is significantly smaller. I think there's only 2 groups in here. So first off, as you can see, we have Vivi, but only her Luna cards. I decided, well, we don't know what's gonna happen with Lucemble anyways. I decided for Vivi that I really just want her Luna era cards because she was an alt of mine during like when she was first announced. is the reason I got into Luna back then, because Luna were an alt like a long time ago. I don't think I was active on YouTube I took a long break from YouTube, and I think during that break is when like Luna became an alt of mine, and she was like alt from that first picture that was announced of her, where she was like in all pink and her pink hair and everything, and I was like, who is she? Like, I need to know who this person is. So back then she wasn't old, but I dropped her collection, and then I wanted to pick her. Well, I dropped her collection when Luna debuted as OT12 because their music was not my style. Like, their solos were all so great, and then when they had OT12, I was like, I don't really care for it. So I kind of dropped everything. So like what I have now is what I've gotten, like, I don't even think it was this year. I think it was like last year. And then we have Setbyeol from Pixie. Well, first of all, Setbyeol left Pixie, and then Pixie just kind of don't know what happened to Pixie, but they're not a group anymore as far as I know. So I was seriously collecting her because she is like one of my favorite people on this earth, but I don't have as much for her as I would like to have. So this is just what I have for her. So this is it for this binder. Yeah, I don't know. It's considerably smaller. I don't know. It just happens that way. And in this one, we have the misc boy groups. So this is really just a mix of everybody else that was left over. This binder doesn't stay flat very nicely. I don't really like using it. So first off, we have Boyfriend, which I wanted some of their cards because I used to collect Boyfriend like in full, and I wanted some of their cards again, so I went on Card Japan and just bought a few sets. Then I have these two Singu cards because this is one of my favorite cards of all time. I'm never letting go of this card, and this card was gifted to me like a long time ago. And then I have my Heejun cards from Kanakin. I've been trying to get rid of these for years. I got rid of all the other ones, and these three were the ones that were left. I watched Twinkling Watermelon, saw him on screen, and I was like, I still like him. So I decided to keep these three. This is my Dongyeon OST Polaroid from Love in the Moonlight, Kwak Dongyeon. He's an actor. He's been in quite a few big projects, so you probably know of him. But the thing is what you don't know is he was an FNC. He was under FNC, which is how I came to know of him. But he was also training to be in a band with Heejun from Kid like a long time ago. So that's why he's on this page. Then I have some B2B cards. This Peniel was gifted to me, which is really nice because I love the press play era. Like that B2B used to be like what you would consider an alt. They were my favorite group, like one of my favorite groups when I first started collecting, when I first started listening to K-pop and stuff. And then their music style changed and it wasn't for me, so I kind of like backed out and stuff. And Minhyuk was my bias, so I bought some of his solo cards just so I could have some of his. Then I have Yoon-san from Hotshot, who fucking love Hotshot, and I fucking love Yoon-san. Jungyu from 7 O'Clock, same thing, fucking loved 7 O'Clock, fucking love Jungyu. Teen Top were another one of my favorite groups, and this specific photo card set, I sacrificed my wallet to get these cards way back in the day, and I found this whole fucking set with out-of-print albums for like $15, and the only one that wasn't included was Cap, and I found him for 50 cents on Surugaya when I used to pay 50 plus for each card back then. So I'm not getting rid of those. And then I have more Teen Top cards. Aljo was my bias, so I do have a few extra ones of him. And then here I have my Eyes collection. Eyes were a band. They're inactive now. I'm pretty sure they're disbanded. But I did have like almost a full collection of Eyes cards, and then I got rid of them. These are just the leftovers. I would like to get Eyes. So like this set. Yeah. And then From Eyes, this set, I would like to get those in full again because I think they're really nice. Come on, flip over. And then I have that one, Hyunjun from The Eyes. Then I have my UNB cards, which is mostly Yu-chan, but I do have one June with the horse, very iconic. I love June. And then more Chan, and then we have the East Light, Sokcha. He was my bias in the East Light. Ugh, I wonder how they're doing. I think about them every so often. I wonder how they're doing. They went through some shitty times where it was discovered that they were being abused by their CEO or something like that. Horrible, absolutely horrible. And then I have this Kim Dong-han solo card that is still one of my favorites. I would like to get more of his solo cards. I used to have more, but this is the only one I have left. This Jungsub card. I used to collect Jungsub, but this card is one of my favorite cards of him. It's from it's like an American release of one of their singles, but I don't remember what the song is called. Do It Like This. It's like one of my favorite cards of him. And this is a freebie that I got forever ago when I traded for some Minhwan cards. It's Minhwan and Jihoon. We don't really talk too much about Minhwan anymore, but I still have his collection. It's just probably not going to grow that much. And then we have one misc binder left, and it is the girl group version of this binder. And here it is. It is essentially the same thing, a bunch of random girl groups in this binder, mostly 2nd and 3rd gen, as you saw in the boy group binder, because that's when I was mostly more active. As a K-pop collector, I used to collect all of these groups back in the day, and I started to pick them back up, but it's way more hard to collect them now than it was back then, so I can't really have full collections for any of these groups, so I take what I can get. So first we start off with 9 Muses. I love 9 Muses as photo cards because they're concept cards and they look so good together. Then we have Ben. She's a soloist. I love her. Fell in love with her voice watching another Oh Hae Young, which is a K-drama, and her song Like a Dream. Still one of my favorite OSTs. I don't really care for OSTs at all, but this one, the OST she sang for that K-drama, it's such a good song. Then we have my AOA collection, which is mostly Chunmi. AOA used to be an alt group. I used to collect them in full, like OT7 back in the day. And I used to collect every single card that they had. And then I sold everything. And then a few years ago, I was like, I want to collect them again. But I mostly got Chunmi cards because Jimin was my bias at first. And then it switched to Chunmi. So, yeah. And then we have my Daya collection. I love Daya's photo cards so much. I love Daya too. But, like, I used to collect them so bad, like, in full back in the day, and I used to bulk buy their albums to try to get more photo cards and their cards as well, especially for Love Gen, like this Love Generation, these 3 cards, those sets are so good. Inche is my bias, so I do have a little bit more of hers. And then we have CLC. This card was gifted to me a long time ago in a trade, and I have this one Sorn card. Then I have my Gongwon Sonyo collection. They used to be an alt as well, like what you would classify as an alt. I used to have a lot of alts, but like they were one of my top girl groups back in the day, and I used to collect them in full, and I got rid of that collection, so this is just what I've been able to accumulate. Soryang is my bias, so I don't have more of her cards, but and then I have these Mamamoo cards. At one point I wanted to collect Mamamoo, was it last year? I wanted to collect them again because I used to really like them when they debuted, and like I used to collect them as well, and then I stopped collecting them, but like their music never stopped being good, so I don't know why I stopped collecting them. I guess I just got distracted by other groups, but I wanted something of them, so I got these was it Nemo cards from their last album. I'm missing a few to have a complete set. I think I'm missing 3, but it's not the end of the world. And then I have my Boysa album that I got as a gift. So I have my pulls there, and then I have my Wikimiki collection. Again, I used to collect them in full. I used to love Wikimiki, and I love their older cards because they're concept cards. I like concept cards, especially concept cards that match. So I have a lot of their cards. Lua is my bias, so I collected a lot of hers way back when, but now it's basically just take what I can get. This one Bestie card, Jahe, is my bias. This one Dalshabet card, I love Dalshabet's photo cards. I love Dalshabet as a whole. I love all the members. I wish I never got rid of my Dalshabet collection. That is like, of all these collections in here that I got rid of, After School and Dalshabet are my 2 most like regrets, the ones that I regret the most, and my Sonamu collection, these 2. So we have this one Girls' Day card, so I used to collect them as well. Bandit, Unity, and then these 2 Hyosung solo cards from Fantasia. I would love to get more of Hyosung's cards, specifically the colored cards. That album, top tier, and the cards are so gorgeous. I do, like, between my boy group misc and my girl group misc, I do like these collections more than my boy groups because, like, mine is, I would say probably Boyfriend, who do a lot of concept cards, especially in their earlier eras, and their Japanese cards. I think I prefer very matchy concept card sets and Not a lot of groups do that anymore, so that's why I'm like so attached to these cards and I want more of these cards, but it's just physically impossible to get more, so like I'm refusing to get rid of these collections. Like I'm holding on to them for dear life. Okay, so now we're done with the misc binders. We can get into like my actual collections, sorta. In here we have my girl group collections, so they're basically like people that I like, girl groups that I want to collect but are a little bit too expensive for me to actually like try to collect them fully, so I just get whatever cards and I put them in here. So we start off with Hanul from Kiss of Life. So these are just the cards that I have for her. Not much. Then we have my Wujusonyo Bona collection. Too many vowel sounds. And this is what I have for her. I have more for her because at one point I was trying to collect her fully. So I had set up for all of her album cards, all of her pre-order cards, all of her non-album merch cards. But I'm not doing that anymore just because it is a lot. She's expensive. Just Wuju Sonyo in general is a little harder to collect. And Bona is one of the most expensive members in the group. Oops. I think like that I do have like a good amount for only starting this collection like this year. These are all, I found all of these on Pokemarket. I did like break my Pokemarket rule of spending like more than $6 or $5 I think on cards, but I think the most that I spent was like $6 or $7, which is still pretty good. And then at the way back I have my XG Harvey collection, which I hope will grow next year because I really like her and I really like her cards. So that is it for this binder. And here we have the boy group equivalent. There's only 2 groups in here because at one point I did try to collect these groups like fully with like pre-order cards and everything, but I decided that it was getting too hard. So I took a step back and I just condensed everything that I had. So first off we have All Hours Masami. So album cards, and then the rest is pre-order cards. These are only for the first era. I have nothing from the second era. That's when I was like, oh, okay, maybe I should take a step back. And then we have Blitzers Jinhwa, which I have more of him because I considered him an alt at one point. I don't think he is anymore. But he's still like quite high up my bias list and I still love him a lot. And I still have stuff coming for him in a group order. That'll probably be shipped in the new year. So these are all pre-order cards. I have a lot for him. It's still going. And a bunch more will be added too because I have a bunch more coming in that group order. And I have units and then non-album cards back here. That's it. So that's all that's in this binder. And then we have this binder, which is my Park Jihoon collection, the soloist, not the treasure member. I decided to put all of his cards in a 3-inch binder, and it fits. There's still a little bit more room, which is good because I still have a few things to add to this, but I don't have the correct pages for it yet, so that's what I have for now. I don't have much. Don't expect a fully done collection for him. It's never gonna happen. These are like 101 stuff that I still don't have, but that's never a priority. And then we move into his solo things, which I have some eras completed. And like a lot of these might not be set up by like versions. I have completely set them up by vibes. By like matching outfits and everything. And then like this one is a pre-order card for the next era, but there was no room on it for like the next era, so, and there was a space there. It fits. And then like message isn't set up by backs, it's set up by outfits, because he had the same outfits throughout different versions and it always bothered me. And I do have like pre-order cards mixed in wherever there was spots. I do try to make it like nice to look at, but also make somewhat sense. Sometimes it's hard. And then like these are too tall for these pages, but I don't really feel like getting like bigger pages just for these, because they fit width-wise. Like this binder is tall enough that it doesn't really matter that they stick out. Although these pages back here are like much wider than the rest, it's still fine. So I have some of his big inclusions in here too. He does a lot of postcards, which I like. The only reason I have this many big inclusions is because when I first got into him, I put a post on Instagram and Twitter saying, I want to buy Jihoon things, and this lovely person on Twitter reached out to me and said, I got a bunch, do you want them? And I was like, yes. And they included a lot of these for like free of charge, like the postcards and stuff. So they also included some of the pre-order cards you saw free of charge. So that is it for Jihoon. It is a big stack, but there's not much in it. I'm hoping, I don't think he's currently filming it. No, I think he is. Never mind. I think he's filming like another historical thing. Anyways, Week Hero Class 2 is coming out soon, and I'm excited for that. And I know he's been booked and busy and filming stuff. So I don't know when we're gonna get Idol Jihoon anytime soon. So I think I still have a little bit of time to bulk up this binder. I only have 2 purple binders, and they both ended up one after another in my list. It's a coincidence. This is my 82 major binder. It is very empty because I just started this collection. And like officially on paper, I collect my top 3, which is Seokjun, Songbin, and Sungil. But unofficially, I collect like OT6. But at the moment, I just have Seokjun and Songbin cards, because that's who I was collecting when I made my Mercari Japan purchases. So that is the only thing I have in here. And they're just kind of set up by vibes again. We don't fully set up for much anymore. We really just chill now. I've come to the conclusion that I want to enjoy collecting and I don't want to be stressed out anymore. So we're just chilling now. This next collection might be a little controversial because it's my ftisland collection. And I do still collect Minhwan, but like I said earlier, it might just not expand, but I am keeping what I have because if I can be honest, I think this is my favorite binder setup that I've ever done. I think this binder looks immaculate, except for the binder itself. I need to know if other people have had issues with specific meowcafe binders. Tell me, why is the back of my binder doing this? And it's not because I have stuff in here. And like, these are visibly thinner than any of my other binders. Like the width of this is much thinner and there's a big ass curve here, and it's not because of the stuff that I have in here either. It's not because of that. Like why does it look like that? Like I kind of sort of want to buy another one, but at the same time this is expensive. Like these binders from me as a Canadian cost $50 without pages. So. But this is my favorite collection setup of all time. because I have all the pages the same size, because I have these like slim fit pages that are made to fit the same size as like their A5 wide and like postcard pages. I just think it's a really nice setup, and I really like this collection. I've been debating on doing this setup for like the past 4 months, I think, and then when I finally was able to do it, that controversy with Minhwan being an asshole came out, and I was like, well, I guess I just have bad taste in men, because guess who my first ftisland bias was? Not Minhwan. So yeah, we're not going to talk too much about that, but I do have a lot of Minhwan photo cards in here. If that bothers you, timestamps are in the description. You can just skip over it. I know not a lot of people care about ftisland, to be honest. Anyway, so I don't even think this part of the video is going to be watched, but I did try to have like a pretty thorough collection for him, but I gave up. With this new era, I actually gave up. And then I have his big inclusions in here. I want to have a lot of my collections, oh, that one's gonna pop out, just give me a second, that are in like these big binders, to have their respective big inclusions in with them, like Jihoon and like my yena stuff as well as, but that's not there yet because I ran out of pages, just because it just looks so good. And then I have like this one random small page here because these don't fit in this size, but it's fine. So like this front part here is only Minhwan. A lot of random stuff for him. And then back here I collect OT4, including Sinhyun, because even though he left ftisland, he did nothing wrong. And I thought these would look so good in these pages, because if you're unaware, ftisland Japanese cards are taller, and meowcafe recently like did sleeves that fit these perfectly, and they used the example of these pages to perfectly fit these sleeves, and I was like, oh no, what did they do? This would be perfect. And yeah, that's how that idea got implanted in my head. And then around the time that the Minhwan controversy came out, I had just bought $200 worth of freaking ftisland Japanese photo cards to bulk up my collection. I was like, yeah, no, this is not the time to be getting rid of them, because first of all, I'm not going to be able to get rid of them. And I already got rid of all of my ftisland collections once in the past. All of my ftisland photo card collection once in the past. We're not doing it again. So I managed to complete quite a few sets with those cards that I bought. You're gonna have to pry this collection out of my cold dead hands. Honky being the only one that I'm missing is a reoccurring thing. But I have this card. Oh my god, I've never had this card before. Even when I used to collect ftisland the first time, I've never had this card before. Because new page, this era, the Be Free era, is the first Japanese comeback I experienced with ftisland back in 2014. And is what solidified me as being a prima donna. And then they were down to 3. I still don't know how to make this look good, but this will have to do. And then DVD stuff. And then DVD postcards, which are some of my favorites. And because there's 4 members, it looks so good. I should have done maybe a spread like this, but when it comes to the bigger size postcards, it doesn't really work out that way, so. Like here, I have to put them in the one pocket because they're slightly too like tall this way to fit in the 2 pockets. And like here's where I started like slacking off because there's so many in between these. And then I also have like a bunch of group cards that I decorated on camera to hide that one member that did bad things, except I was missing 2 group cards and then I found them and I haven't decorated them yet, so we're going to ignore him. Okay. I wasn't even, he's here. He's like this. We're gonna ignore him, okay? He usually stands on the, like the right side of the picture for us. Yeah. That's my ftisland collection. It is, I think, one of my favorite collections. Like the way that I've set it up is one of my favorites. I need to get the new 3-inch strings that meowcafe just released because this is too tight. Too tight. So the next 2 collections that I'm going to show are going to be very empty, and they might not even stay. But I thought I would show them in this video so that if I do keep them, then it's good, and if I don't keep them, then it's still good. But this is my billlie collection, and I have decided to collect OT7. I know what you're thinking. This is a 6 pocket binder. You'll see. Because I really like Billie's photo cards and I really like Billlie. And I've been wanting to collect them on and off and I couldn't figure out how to collect them, so I decided what if I just collect everybody? And then I had them in like a 9 pocket layout and like 7 patterns and it looked great and I liked it. But then I had this binder left over from when I switched all of my binders around and I was like, they're gonna fit perfectly in here. So what I do is I put Soohyun separate. She's not my bias anymore. She was. She's not a bias anymore. Tsuki actually is my bias, but Soohyun is cheaper. And the reason why I say that is because I just fill up the I'm going to fill up the pocket with like extra photo cards, like pre-order cards or fansign cards or whatever. And I know getting those for Tsuki would be extremely hard, but getting those for Soohyun might be a little bit easier. And she's my second bias, so it works out. Like, and if I do get like other member pre-order cards and stuff, like I can do something with those later. But for the first era, there was only 6 members because Shen wasn't added in yet, so it just works out. And then I decided to, oh no, I am collecting. Okay, at one point I wasn't collecting Snowy Night and Pat Bingsu for the other members, but I am. So this is the Soohyun page. And then the rest will be the other members, but the thing is I only have like 2 jihoon cards. And then we have the Collective Soul and Unconscious. So these are the Soohyun pages, and then everybody else. Some pages are empty, but it's okay. Here is Pat Bingsu. Oh, that was the Village of Perception chapter 2. Shoot, I'm in the zone, thinking about something else. And the reason why I have like random other members is because I actually bought these albums and those were probably my pulls. From like way back then. And then I have the Village of Perception chapter 3. I don't have much for this. Nice. Those are all empty pages. And then back here is side B. So I decided to do member pages because there's only 5 members. And yes, it would have been okay to do like a 5 pattern in here. There's 6 cards per member. And but Soohyun isn't here, so I don't have to get any extra cards. So I only have Tsuki and some jihoon. And then I have like nothing, and I also like set up for the new era, but of course there's nothing because I don't have anything yet. And what's the use in flipping through empty pages, right? Okay, so that is that. And then the other collection that might have a change in the near future is my aespa collection. At this point in time, I collect OT4, but I have absolutely nothing. Like I mostly have winter cards because I was collecting her for a while. And then I decided to collect OT4, and then I got cards for the other members, and then I decided to only collect winter again, so I got rid of some of those cards. And the cards that I have left over are basically the leftovers. So this might be downsized to just winter. Unlike billlie, aespa is not easy to collect. So I don't know if I want to have that as a challenge for the next year, but who knows? Maybe I will. Because who doesn't like a challenge, right? But a lot of these pages are completely blank. And then like from my world onwards, I only have like winter, and like for drama, I have absolutely nothing. So we can just skip through all of this emptiness. And then I have like a few Armageddon, like those two, and then the rest is completely empty. So yeah, it's an empty, it's like this binder is huge for no reason for aespa, but it's the only binder that I had left. I don't know who else to put in here. That's like another reason that I don't want to downsize them, is like, who am I going to put in here, right? Like I bought these binders to use them, and like they're expensive, so I gotta use them. And spoiler, I'm not using my 12 pocket binders anymore, so that's already like $200 that I'm not using. So I have to use these ones somehow. So yeah, conundrum. We are still in the A5s. Some future, like some later collections will have different binder size mixed in, but I'm basically going in like order of importance, kind of, sort of. Yeah, we've got a long ways to go. This is my Twice collection. So with Twice, I've decided to continue collecting OT9, but to do them in this binder is so stiff. My other pink binder is so loose, and this one is so stiff. It's funny. I've decided to still collect OT9, but just in a smaller format. So what I do is I do still try to get all of Jihoon's cards, and then I put the other 8 member in like a spread this way. So that's how it ended up being. So I do have them double-sided, but I don't have double-sided pages, so it's just 2 cards in 1 sleeve for now. I don't know if I'll figure out a better setup in the future, but it works for now. So I have all of Jihoon's cards here. I just have like them one after another. I'm missing quite a few. Like this is the only with youth card that I have. So, and then I have some of her solo cards that these are just the ones that I pulled originally in my albums. I even got dupes and I never was able to trade for them. So, and then we start with the rest of the members. So I only collect from Taste of Love onwards, and I only collect like album photo cards and digipack photo cards if they're a different concept. I don't really collect Nemos or whatever because those seem to be in the same concept. So only different concepts for non-photo book version photo cards. I don't know. So I have been like on and off with my Twice collection for a long time, so that's why I still have a good chunk of these cards. I did get rid of a few, but not everything, so. Now for Ready to Be, this is when I started to slack off, so I don't have as much. And then when it comes to With Youth, I have absolutely nothing. I'm aware this Mina's in the wrong spot, I just haven't changed it yet. And so is this one. I'm aware, I know. And then after that, I have absolutely nothing, but I do have like the pages set up for strategy, which that'll be a 2025 problem. Or adventure, it's not really a problem, I just haven't started yet. I have been obsessed with the idea of having big collections in small vessels. So these big ass 3-inch binders are like my favorite thing from meowcafe right now because I can have so many cards in such a small, compact thing. And yeah, it's my favorite thing in the whole wide world. We are taking a break, a small break, from the A5s and moving on to my itzy collection. It is in these 10 pocket pages, and I am aware that turning it sideways would be much better, but I film with my tripod on that side of me, so if I do this, that lays on the tripod, and it's fine for now, but once I start adding more and more weight to that, the tripod will just swing back. So unfortunately, for the time being, I cannot. Until I figure out a better setup, this is how it's going to be. But I was told by somebody that as long as we can see the cards, it doesn't matter, and I'm rolling with that. So I collect OT5 itzy, and I collect pretty much everything for OT5 minus a few hard to get things, and minus some of the units. I only collect like half of the units. Just whatever works to fit my setup, because I really like how my setup is for itzy, and I've been toying with the idea of putting them in just like a 5 pocket, A5 wide, but I like the setup way too much to do that. So yeah, I'm just gonna flip through. I think we're all pretty much aware of the itzy albums. So many people collect them. I don't collect non-album for them either. I have thought about it. Like collect Chaeryeong because she's my bias, but it's not something that I want to prioritize right now because at this point in time my brain is kind of focused on album cards for all of my groups. I've really taken a break from buying pre-order cards, which was like 6 months ago. That's all I was buying. So I have phases. I'm still way behind on even thinking of like almost being complete with this collection, so got a long ways to go, but I did add quite a few cards in here from my storing photocards video, so it does look a little bit better now compared to how it used to look. So this is for the new era. There's not much that I have yet. Just have Nemo stuff. And then way back here, I have my twice pre-order cards. I ran out of pages, so With Youth is in here, and I don't have the ones for strategy yet, but I do like these a lot, so I wanted to keep them, and I thought having them back here is a great idea, but it bulked up my binder quite a bit, so I don't know. I do have a few missing because I did trade or sell some, and I also gave some as freebies back when I was on the fence of keeping these. Okay, so that is it for this binder. I really like this binder. Like, I regret buying my 12 pocket binders, but I don't regret buying these binders and these pages. I think having my itzy collection and my a.c.e and n.flying collection set up this way, I think is one of the best ideas I've ever had. Next up, we have a.c.e, but to start off a.c.e, I have to do my WoW non-album stuff. So I no longer have everything set up for him or Sinkyub. I just go with the flow. It was too much. It was hard to get what I was missing anyways, so I just set his stuff up like one after another. So these are pre-order cards. These are Japanese cards, and these are season's greetings. These are fanship. And down here starts the photo books. And then we have like random tour merch and such. I used to have more. I sold some because at one point I didn't want to collect non-album for anybody anymore. Sold a few. Okay, that is it for this binder. It hasn't really changed much except for like the My Girl spread, like the cards that I got for my choice, my girl, my choice. Okay, now we head on to the album cards for a.c.e, which I collect OT5. And they are also set up in 10 pocket pages. So the way that I have a setup is I don't collect OT5 for every single thing. So I do have like WOW's album cards integrated throughout the setup, and I think it looks really nice. So this is what I have. Thing is, I used to have all of these cards before. I'm always gonna say that because it's true. I've went back and forth on my collection so many times that I am basically like starting at 0 for a lot of them again. So the new era, which I just have my pulls. And like the K-Town for You pre-order card set. And then we go into n.flying. So again, same thing with a.c.e as n.flying. I don't collect everything OT5. So I do have like Syncub's cards just spread out, and I collect what makes the layout work. But the thing is I have like nothing for like the older eras or stuff that I just recently decided to collect again. But I have everything from like here on out. Because when n.flying got added to Pokemarket, I went on Pokemarket and bought all of the cards that I was missing except this one unit for like $2 each. And I don't have as many album cards as a.c.e does. So to end n.flying, we're going to go to the Syncub non-album binder. And here it is. So again, like WOW, I don't have anything set up anymore. It just one after the other goes with the flow. So here we have pre-order cards. Well, this is a Japanese card. Or should I say like album related cards? Here are season's greetings, fanships, and his photo books. That's an n.flying photo book, and these are his solo photo books, which he has 2 more out. Like, stop it. There's significantly less things to collect for that one though. Then here we just have like random merch and stuff for him. Like n.flying related stuff here, and then I think this it's like a solo magazine he did. And then here's Lovely Runner merch. Because if you're unaware, Shinkan has been acting all year. He was in Lovely Runner and Love Next Door. Is that what it's called? God, I never finished it. I want to. I just never finished it. And then he's starring in a new one next year. Like in the beginning of next year, I think. So he's been booked and busy. While the other members of n.flying are either enlisted or I think Hwasung's doing like musicals or whatever. Now we are into Oh My Girl. So we are in the top 3 biggest collections for K-pop, and then the last part of this video will be also J-pop because I've decided I am treating both K-pop and J-pop equally from now on. So they're included in everything. I am sprinkling J-pop everywhere that I can. So here is the OT7 Oh My Girl binder, which is everything up to Real Love era. So album cards and then some pre-order cards for the later eras. I love these 7 pocket pages from meowcafe. This is like one of the first things, well actually it is the first thing that I bought from meowcafe. I didn't know that they could fit in the 3 pocket, like the 3 ring binders. So I took a chance and I bought it, and then I was like, holy shit, yeah they do. I was so excited. But like anything that is marked A4 slim or A4 standard on their website fits 3 ring binders. Like even the A4 plus will fit because of the holes, but the pages will be too long. Empty page. And we have some pre-order cards that I decided to put back in because as much as like Mimi's my bias and I did try to collect everything for her at one point, I don't think I want to do that anymore. I think I want to try to focus on Oh My Girl as a whole more and try to get more like complete sets for them instead of just singling Mimi out, which I know I will still do because unless I can find stuff in a set, I'll have to buy stuff individually, right? And Mimi is one of the cheaper members, so realize I'm not super centered, but it's fine. Real Love had a lot of her cards. Holy fuck. Here we have some of the pre-order cards I had left over. Here we go. That is it for this binder. I only have 2 Oh My Girl binders now, so we'll move on to the OT6 binder now. Here is the Oh My Girl OT6 binder. So here will be Golden Hourglass onwards, but it's really just Golden Hourglass because I have like nothing for Dreamy Resonance because I've counted that as a next year thing for me. So we have album cards, which are not complete, but I'm not missing a lot though. Then we have pre-order cards. So I did set up these as sets just just because I can. And a lot of them I do have almost the full set or the full set, so it works out. But I think I only set up for the ones that have at least 2. So that first Hyojung that was by herself, I don't think I was supposed to put her there because I have other pre-order cards here. So these are lucky draws and I didn't set up for those, and then I didn't set up for any of these sets. So I'm unsure. Like these are also lucky draws, but I didn't set up for any of these Mimi sets. So might have to move that Hyojung. And put her like here, like the other members. Oh well, it's fine. And then this is like the only Dreamy Resonance album card I have, and I think it's a polka card. And then I have these 4 Mimi pre-order cards for Dreamy Resonance, and then I have these group cards from various eras. I was gonna seriously collect group cards, but I decided not to. I just don't care, honestly. I am not a unit and group card person. I know some people are. I'm just not. So that is it for Oh My Girl. Next we are going to do ORβIT, which has 3 binders, so let's go. And the first binder we're doing is the OT6 album card binder because I decided to collect pretty much full OT6 for ORβIT. Am I crazy? No, because it's not that hard to do. So at first I had these as 5 pocket pages without Younga, and then I decided to move Younga in here because I had Mimi with the other members, I had Wow with the other members, I had Singcamp with the other members. Like all of my other collections weren't separated, so I felt a little weird just having that one be separated. But the pre-order cards are separated because, as I've mentioned, Younga is the only idol that I currently still want to collect every single thing from him, and I still have everything set up to collect every single thing from him, so he's the only member that is separated from the rest for pre-order cards. I'm just gonna do a flip through. Nothing really special, honestly. They have a lot of cards. In the first few eras, none of them match. Which like put me off collecting their older cards for so long because none of them matched. Then when you get into like First Love and onwards, at least there's like a lot more photo cards, but at least the outfits match. For Passion and Eternally, if you see any empty spots, like, they'll be filled. I do have Passion and Eternally fully completed. I just don't have them on hand yet. Love to You, the last one they had. I'm gonna come back next month without Johan. I don't know how I feel about that. So yeah, that is it for this binder. And then I'm actually going to do like the other members' pre-order cards first because it's also in an A5 wide. Here it is. It's only in a 2-inch though, but it's pretty full. So I only have the sets set up if I have at least 2 of the 5 members for it. But it's still like a lot of sets because I only collect First Love onwards for these, for all the other members. Just a personal preference, honestly. There's nothing wrong with their older sets. It's not that they're hard either. It's just they have a lot. For just these, like First Love, Passion, and like Eternally has so many. And I have a lot, so. And then here I have like the ones I only have one of, but I put them by member, and I don't think I like that. I think I want to put them by era. A lot of Jihoon, because he's my second bias, and I was trying to collect him the same way I was collecting Yonga, and then I quickly discovered that was a bad idea. So yeah, that is it for the other members for pre-order cards. Now we're going to get into the Yoga binder, which honestly is my favorite collection that I have. Here is my Yoga binder. I toyed with the idea of putting him in a 12 pocket back when Yena was also in a 12 pocket. I am no longer using my 12 pockets, but I realized I didn't want to have to try to reorganize these. As much as I like reorganizing stuff, if it's already done, I don't want to do it a second time. Like try to match all the outfits and stuff. If it's done once, I don't want to do it a second time. So I was like, no, he's fine in here. So I have like his 1 to 9 stuff. I don't have everything, but and then we start off with First Sight, Challenge, Action. Move the binder over a little bit. There we go. And then First Love. That's when I started having so many. And then this is Passion. I might be flipping too fast, but I don't want to make this video unnecessarily long. I know it's already going to be long. And then I have a gift to you, gift for you, just the one card. But there's like merch cards that look exactly the same, so fill up that page eventually. Then I have Eternally. Then I have Love to You, which didn't have that many because it was only like a special single. And then I have Japanese, so this is Youth. Still missing a few from that. And then I have Wave, which I am missing quite a lot, but I don't know what I'm missing. There's no templates for Wave. And then I have Season's Greetings. I am very behind. Well, this is Fanship, and this is Season's Greetings from like 2022, I think. I'm really behind on like non-album Yoga. And then I have his Universe cards, which I fucking love these cards so much. And then I have group cards and units, which feature him. And that's it. That's all I have for ORβIT. I love my little ORβIT collection. And then we move on to Yena. Here is where Yena's IZ*ONE stuff is. I want to try to get all of our IZ*ONE stuff, like non-album as well, because there's not going to be more, right? So once I get all of them, it's done. And I also want to put her big inclusions in here someday when I get more pages. So this is what I have for her. There's gonna be a lot of empty spaces. Because I mainly only have album cards for her. I do have like the OT12 one wheeler set. We get into like Japanese trading cards, which I did have more of these at one point and I got rid of them. But these aren't super expensive, so I just haven't really tried to get any. Why do my hands look so weird at the bottom right there? Ignore my hands. I'm trying to do this in a comfortable way, and doing it like that is not comfy, or doing it like this is not that comfy. So I'm using both hands and it looks a little weird. Yeah, so that's it for what I have for Yena's iZone stuff. Oh, always hard to pick up the backboard. And we'll move on to her solo stuff now. So her solo album cards are back in one of these binders. I decided that the 12 pocket binders are too big for me. I don't like how much space I need when I need to use them, and oh, it's just too big. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, but I'm just gathering dust from now for now. So I am nowhere near as done any of her. I have Smiley done, that's it. And I just finished Smiley recently, so yay me. I do have everything sorted by outfits, so the backs might look a little wonky, but we're gonna ignore the backs. And then smartphone. I do have a lot of these coming. But I still am missing quite a lot. We have Love War. Hate XX. And Good Morning, which I have like nothing except for like my pulls and then a few that I bought on Pokemarket. I do have a few more coming from Pokemarket, but they're still over there. I haven't shipped them out yet. And then I did set up for like the new era, but I don't have anything yet, so skip those pages. And then I just have like these 3 Smiley Japanese cards. And then I have Season's Greetings, so this is 2022. 2022. And this is 2023. And then I don't have 2024. And this is from Yena in Winterland. I just bought, somebody was selling just like a bunch of random ones together, so I just bought that. Okay, so I have one last Yena binder, and it is her solo pre-order cards. At one point I was trying to collect all of them. I am not trying to do that anymore, but I still have a lot. And here it is. It is a 6 pocket binder. Mainly because I had this binder empty after moving my ORβIT collection out of it, so I had to use it for something. And Yena was the optimal choice because she did either 3 sets of 3s, 5s, or 6, and now she's doing sets of 2, so it all works. So I have a lot for Smiley and Smartphone because those are the ones that you can find easily and for cheap on Mercari Japan and such, so I just have a lot of those. Again, we're going based on vibes, backs don't really match up. And then smartphone. Like that one random one. And then Love War. This is where I start having considerably less. So Love War is pretty full. And then Hate XX. And then Good Morning. And then Nemu Nemu. I only have those two. And that is it for Yena. We have big inclusions left for K-pop, and then we jump into J-pop. I hope my phone will last until then. Please, please phone. Here are my big inclusions. I just basically have like old groups in here, and it's not really much. I don't really do too many big inclusions anymore, so start off with ace. They're just by like pocket size, and then kind of sort of chronological order in those pocket sizes. I don't know. And we have my 2 good day like bookmark things that I have left over. And as IZ*ONE stuff, which is eventually going to be moved. Some big Jihoon things that couldn't fit in his binder. Come on. Mire Kyle. N.flying stuff, mostly Singhyub. Some Oh My Girl things. Pixie, Twice. I do love a good postcard, so I have a lot of the Twice postcards. Some WeI, so some of Younga's stuff. And then some OT6 stuff. I do love a good postcard. Some more like Younga stuff. And Yena's solo stuff. And that is it for the big inclusions, and that is also it for K-pop, but if you want to stick around, J-pop's next. There's some stuff that I haven't shown on camera in a long time, so yep. So we have my other J-pop groups that I don't focus on right now, but that doesn't mean that I won't, or it's old stuff from when I used to collect J-pop the first time around back in like 2014, 2015, 2016 that I kept. So first off, we have Ballistic Boys, which I just have this like debut jacket card. Then I have my Flower big inclusions. And then E-Girls big inclusions. And then more Flower stuff. And then some Happiness stuff, some E-Girls things, some Dream stuff. This is Exile prints from their magazine. This is postcards from an Exile Tribe release. I only kept my favorite members. This is Generation stuff, because before the Rampage, Generation were my favorite Exile Tribe group, and then their sound changed, and I was like, never mind. Some Sendai Jaisal brothers, or Naoki, I love him. These big things that I didn't know were big from Exile for Akira and Alan. And then we get into my E-Girls music cards. I don't actively collect these. and then like other e-girls things that I would collect but are kind of hard to get. These chip cards that I used to collect and I don't anymore for e-girls. Then here are my flower cards. I would like to get a full set of this. And then some happiness cards and music cards as well. And then this is the start of Dream. I don't know why. I guess I was just putting stuff one after another, but this is the start of Dream along with these. Then I have my Little League collection. I would like to expand my Little League collection, but I think that's like a maybe thing. And then I have Ballistic Boys here. This is Battle of Tokyo stuff. And then I have the second. They had a concert in 2023, I think. It says in teeny tiny writing on there, 2023. They had 2 sets of photo cards for that, so I got both sets. Here is my Shokichi, like mostly solos page. I would love to get the third, the one music card, because it is one of my favorite songs from him. But this is the second thing, but these 2 are also solo things. I don't know, I got them in a set with like the one music cards because these are so hard to get. And then I have the rest of my generation stuff because I used to collect OT7 for them. And then I got rid of anything that wasn't Alan, Ryota, Oreo because they're my top 3. I think they're still my top 3. Like, it hasn't really changed, but I think before Alan was my bias, but I think now it's more Oreo. So it's 3 members or what? That's what I have for those 3 members. And then I have my Naoki Sendai Meiji Brothers music and image cards back here, and then I have like some Exile stuff, including Taiki as well from Fantastics. I don't really collect Fantastics, but Taiki's one of my favorites in Exile. And then the chip cards for the boys, and then here I just have random group cards and then like promotional cards, and then my one high and low thing, and it's not even from like one of the idols, it's from an actor. And then Bullet Train, so start of my Bullet Train collection. So I have this Kai photo card and then these Kai Ebidan photos. I used to collect Bullet Train quite seriously. And then back here is like sign stuff, but I'm not gonna go, it's K-pop sign stuff, not J-pop sign stuff. But I don't really feel like going through that. But we are not done with Bullet Train because I have a little Bullet Train binder that we're gonna go through. Here is my little Bullet Train Takia binder. The reason why I wanted to use my other zippered binders is because Takia needs to stay in here because Bullet Train have assigned colors and Takia is green. So he needs to be in a green binder, and I didn't want him to be the only one using one of my zippered binders, so that's why I moved my misc collections out of the 3-inch binder and put them all in misc binders so that Takia wouldn't be lonely. I haven't checked out Bullet Train in a long time, and I only found out, like, what is it, last year, that they have 9 members now. And I was like, what the hell is this? Because I was there because they used to have 7 members, then 1 left, so there were 6, and then another left, and there were 5, and then they added 4 members, and now they're 9. Well, I missed that part totally. And I haven't listened to anything they've put out, and I should, because I was told that their sound changed. So instead of doing like out of the box, like what you would expect J-pop to sound like, they're kind of more like, you know, mainstream. So it's more like easier for people to listen to or something like that. But I haven't really checked out anything, so that's my fault, my bad, I'm sorry. But I do have like old stuff for him, so like his Icky music card, and then his Believe like like it was like a event card, and then this is a DVD card, but he's wearing his Icky outfit and he has his Believe hair, and I'm sorry, but Icky is still my favorite song from them, and it's never gonna be topped. Never. It's just so perfect. And then this I think is like it's not an Ebidan photo, I think it's like a bonus from their My Bloody Valentine, I think is what it's called. And then here are the start of the Ebidan photos, and if you don't know, every time they have an event you can buy a pack of like 3 or 5 pictures for like $10 or whatever, and they're like all random members, and you get, there's like 5 per members, and it's a big deal. I tried to collect all of them. I had like templates made for all of Takiya's, and it was crazy, and I was collecting them as they came out back then, but they were only on series 10 or 11 when I stopped, and then when I wanted to collect him back again, there was over 50 of them, and then I was just buying sets left and right trying to figure out what I had, and that's when I was trying to figure out the order of stuff, and yeah, I very much gave up that. But for the older eras, I have most of them. Because I was buying them individually. That's how fucking insane I was. But here, starting from here, are like new ones that I bought a few years ago. And I think they're in order of release. I really don't know. I clearly don't have everything. But you can tell like which ones go together. Like those two obviously are from the same set. And then these two, these are when they were recreating their old. So this is from their old, I need to finish my sentences. Their old song. So this is from Train. Then these are from Shake Body. This is from My Bloody Valentine. This is from Believe Believe. And then they did it again like later. Or that was the later one and then they did it again like previously, because these are birthday ones. They also released like a special set on that member's birthday. Oh, I think what it is the ones where he has dark hair and the one where he has light hair are two different times that they did this. And I have units. And group ones. So, I use these as like a sort of backboard-ish for these binders. So that is my little Bullet Train Takya collection. Here is my e-girls collection, because I decided to do something stupid and try to collect every single e-girls cards that they have. Why am I doing that? But the thing is e-girls cards are numbered except for the follow me cards, so that's why the follow me cards are on the front page. So I have them in number order, so it would be a little bit easier to know like what card I need to get. Because if I try to remember each member, each girl that was in e-girls at whatever time, my brain would explode. So we're going by number. So I have them all like running through because I can probably figure out where it ends and where it starts, because I have a lot of Aya cards and Aya's always the second member because Shizuka's the first. So I can probably figure out, oh, Aya ends there and then that would be Shizuka, so that other era ends right there. So I could probably figure it out, but I just want them to be running all throughout. So we have Never Ending Story. And then here is Candy Smile. Gomenasai no Kissing You. Kuru Kuru. Diamond Only. We Are Venus. Odoru Pompokorin, which is so fun to say. High School Love. Mr. Snowman. Anniversary, which is a completed set. I have all of them. Dance, Dance, Dance. Merry Xmas. I don't know how to pronounce that. E.g. Summer Rider. And Pink Champagne. These were like a double single, so those got released at the same time. And then Go Go Let's Go is the last one, I think, with like numbered photo cards. I don't know what they did after this, because this is like when I stopped being into J-pop, and it's also when like e-girls reformed to just 11 members. And then my favorite at that time was Miyu, because all my other favorites had left by that point, and I still love Miyu. She's in 5, by the way, so support 5 as well. She wasn't in the 11 members that had stayed for e-girls, so I kind of stopped paying attention. Not to the songs, to like the merch that they had. So that is it for e-girls, and now I have 2 collections left, the Rampage and ORβIT. We're going to do the Rampage next, and we're going to start off with a big inclusion. So the Rampage, for their first, I don't know, like the first half of the releases, they only did jacket cards, and those jacket cards, you were able to like choose the member you wanted if you bought from the Exile Tribe mobile shop. which I still have a subscription to. Like, they take like $4 out of my credit card every month. I still haven't bought from them in years. So my thing that I wanted to do is I want to get all of Yamasho's because he is my ult, like, of all time. Like, I think he beats a lot of my K-pop ults as well, but I also want to try to collect Kazuma again because I have almost all of his jacket cards too. Like, I think I'm missing one for each member to have all of the ones that only have jacket cards completed. After that, when they started having photo cards and jacket cards, I fucking don't care. Because there's photo cards, I'm gonna collect those first, and then if I can get the jacket cards for those eras after, fine, whatever. But my priority will always be Yamasho, and my second priority will always be Kazuma, and then the other members will always be third priority. I do have some other members at the back because at one point I was collecting top 4, and I was buying them straight from the XL Try mobile shop. But I don't have much for the other members. So what I have is I have Yamasho on this side and Kazuma on this side. So this is for Lightning, Frontiers, Dirty Disco. This is like one of the only like early, I think this is the only early era Yamasho that I'm missing, but this is so expensive. The only reason why I have Kazuma's is because I found a set of all the jacket cards that were released at the time of me buying it for like $70, but this alone is worth $70. So I was like, holy fuck, let's go. So excited. I don't know why this is so expensive. I think it's because like I don't really like the song, and I'm wondering if it's the reason why they're so expensive is because nobody bought them, right? So then we have 100 Degrees, Fandango. This look on Yamasho is superior. And then Hard Hit, like this I think is the only one that I'm missing for Kazuma. When this era came out, I wasn't collecting Kazuma, and it was the set that I bought had up to this one in it, and then I started collecting Kazuma this set after when I was buying my top 4, because here I only bought my top 3, and then after that I bought my top 4, so I'm missing this Kazuma for Hard Hit. And then Throw Your Fist, I actually have OT16 of these. Welcome to Paradise, Swag and Pride, Full Metal Trigger, Invisible Love. This is like when I stopped buying on XL Tribe mobile shop, because this is like when 2020 happened, and this is where I stopped, and this is where I was having a hard time getting Yamasho's, but Kazuma's was so easy to find. So I had like all of Kazuma's but none of Yamasho's, and he was so hard to find. Then I found a set that had like all the ones that I was missing, and now I'm like caught up pretty much. Like, I don't like these pages. Fears, My Prayer, Heatwave. Fucking love Heatwave. Living in the Dream. And then here, after Living in the Dream is when they started doing photo cards. So I thought, oh yeah, they switched to photo cards. They're not doing jacket cards anymore. Wrong. They're doing both. It's just not many people are buying the jacket cards, so they're really hard to find. So for like those ones where they're doing both, I only have one, the Power, because there's 2 for this one. And then this one, I don't remember how to pronounce it in English, but this is a recent one from this year, I think. Last year? I think it's last year, or the really beginning of this year. And then I have a Massive one. This is from Invaders. And then I have Battle of Tokyo. So these are double-sided, but I don't like the other side for Yamasho. He has braids that shouldn't have been put on him. So we're focusing on this side. And I also have Kazuma's, and then I have the postcards for that. And then I don't know where this is from, but it came in that set that I bought. I think it's from when they were like covering XL songs. And then this is a High and Low, the worst one for Kazuma, because he was in that movie with Yuta from NCT. Then I have other random Yamasho non-album stuff. I just buy everything that has his face on it. Then here I have other members, because my top 3 was originally Yamasho, Kaise, and Shogo. So I have a lot of Kaise and Shogo stuff back when I used to buy top 3 and top 4 stuff. So this is for Lightning. And then Frontiers, and then these 2 are 100 Degrees. This is Hard Hit. And so is this, and then starts the rest of the members for Throw Your Fist, because I bought an OT16 set. I don't really plan on collecting all of the members for the jacket cards, because they're hard to store. But the photo cards, yes. Welcome to Paradise, Swag and Pride, Full Metal Trigger. And then here's Kaise. And then we can get into the photocard sized things. It is a big binder, it is thick, it is full, but it is empty. There's literally only Yamasho stuff in here. I have set up for like everything that I have Yamasho for, but like I only have Yamasho and some Kazuma. And for the early eras, I was trying to collect OT16, was it 2 years ago? And then I took a break, and then I was only focusing on Yamasho and Kazuma, and then I was only focusing on Yamasho, and then I'm back to OT16 somehow. So, I don't know what these are. They were like event cards or something like that, but they're from Welcome to Paradise, so they go in here. Then we have No Limit. So, as I said, OT16, so it's 2 sets of 8. So every set has 2 pages. So this is 1 set of the power. There's 2 sets for these, but I only have cards for 1 set. Here is Kizune no Tsunage no Kizuna. I don't know. It's like one of the releases that I forget that they have. And here is Round and Round. No, this is Roundup. Oh, they have Roundup and then they have Round and Round. And here is Round and Round, I think. No, it's still Roundup. What? I don't know. They had Roundup and then their full album is called Round and Round or something like that. You can see me. And then we have 16 boosters. And then this is Everest. And this is fucking Summer Riot. These are so hard to find, which is dumb because Everest and Summer Riot came out at the same time. It was a double single. But why is Summer Riot so much harder to find? And then here is where I only have Yamasho. So I have that one that I can't remember what it is. The same jacket card. Here is 16 Soul, 16 Prayer. So this is the 16 Prayer set. 16 Pray, sorry. And this is 16 Soul. And then pre-order cards. Yeah, they started doing pre-order cards. So I have some pre-order cards for Yamasho. This is Cyber Helix. So there's 2 sets for that. That one and this one. And then pre-order cards for that. Which I'm only going to focus on Yamasho. If I get other members, cool. But I'm not going to try and get out of my way to get them. This is from 24 Karat Gold. 24 Karat Gold Genesis. There's 2 sets for that. And then pre-order cards. And then this is their newest one, Endless Happy Ending. 2 sets for that. And then pre-order cards. I think this is also an album card, but I think it's like a CD DVD version, and I'm not sure if I want to collect everybody for that. Then we have just random stuff for Yamasho. I think these are like fan club bonuses. Then we added to tour cards, because I fucking love their tour cards. So yes, of course I'm going to collect OT16 of those too. So we have Ray of Light Part 1, which has 2 sets for. Ray of Light Part 2, which also has 2 sets for. I do have a little bit more for these ones, because these are much easier to get than album cards. Then we have 16 Part 1, which I'm only missing 3 members to complete this. And then I have 16 Part 2. And then I have Cyber Helix Part 1. And Cyber Helix Part 2. And then they have special cards for each of those. I would like to get all of Yamasho's, but honestly the special cards are not a high priority for me. But if I do get some that are different, because some of them are the exact same and they have like an extra thing on them. Like for the first 2 Ray of Lights, it was the same photo just in black and white with like a gold foil signature. And then for this new one, for Cyber Helix, I think the special one has a hollow film over it. That's it. And then we go into Massive, the Rampage, which is the Rampage subunit, which involves my boy Yamasho. So these are for the album cards for their latest single. I think it's called M5V. And pre-order cards for that. And then these are tour cards, or like not specifically tour cards, but concert cards. These are some of my favorite Yamasho cards. I don't think I'll ever be able to get some for the other members because they were really expensive for Yamasho, but if I do get some more, I'll put them on this page. But then I have the actual tour cards for Massive, and then I have like other cards for the Rampage that I want to collect that aren't specifically album or tour cards. So I have the Project R collaboration. Well, I think this is like the Rampage clothing brand, like it's theirs. They did cards for those. And then they also have like the LDH Live Expo cards that I want for them. And then here's Battle of Tokyo. So I don't really care too much for Battle of Tokyo, but I did get this in a full set. And then the other ones that I really like are these ones. I really like this set and this CD set, which I might try to get for all members, but it's not a priority. And then back here are random Yamasho cards. Like this is from a game, this is from like a reality show, and this is, I don't know what it is from. It's from it says tour something on the back. 16 the Rampage Live Tour 2023, but I don't know from what it comes from, if it's a DVD, a live CD or something. Like, I don't know. And then I have group cards. So that's it for the Rampage. So I hope my phone will hold up for ORβIT, because that's all I have left. Please, I don't even know if it's about to die. It probably is. I've been filming for exactly 2 hours. It just turned 2 hours, so it's probably gonna die soon. So for ORβIT, I also have their big inclusions in here because I didn't know what else to put in these binders, but I don't have as much for ORβIT that I do for the Rampage because I don't go out of my way to get these. They just come in sets. So. And they mostly only did like these jacket cards for like the OT5 era. So that's it. Come on. And then we have the last binder of this video. God. It is my ORβIT collection. It is much fuller than the Rampage collection because I have only focused on ORβIT, it seems, for the past 6 months. So I got a lot to show for it. So I do collect OT7. So we start off with the album card. So this is OO, Enchant, with some like random non-album stuff. For ORβIT, I'm not really focusing on non-album. Like I would, it's fine if I get Junes, but I'm not trying to get them like I am with Yamasho. If I come across them, I'll get them. It's not that big of a deal for me. Then we have Alter Ego. This is I Can't Breathe, back when they were set at 5 because 2 members enlisted. And we have pre-order card for that. Back it up. And pre-order card. And then we have Fun. Pre-order cards. Then we have Bullseye. And then pre-order card. And then we have their newest one. I think it's called Patience. I don't really remember. But this is a full HMV set. Then we get into their trading cards, which they do a lot of. So the rest of the binder is all their trading cards, which is like from events and tours. Not tours, but like shows and like fan meetings and stuff. So we have the first one, which is To Earth, which is all complete. The first 5 are all complete because I managed to buy the full sets. And this is Happy Box number 1, which I think was titled Universe. And this is Happy Box number 2, which was like 80s American. And then this is Or Book, I think it was called. And this one is called With, I think. And then after this it gets a little empty because some of them I don't know how many there are. Like for the Dreamgate ones, like the first one, I don't know how many there are, so I only set up if I have at least one card for that set. And I only have this one Yundong for Dreamgate 1, so. And then this is Dreamgate 1 Finale. I know there's only 4 per member for this, so. Because I have all of June's. And I also have like one group card, but the thing is Dreamgate is with other groups from the same company, so these two down here, I don't know who they are. But it has Yundong and June in it, so. And then this is a ORβIT room one. ORβIT Live Room Tour 2023. The thing is I don't know how many per member there is for this. This set is so confusing. So I just have them set up randomly this way with what I think looks good. But I'm sure there's more. And this is ORβIT fan meeting. I think it was from the end of 2023 when Youngwon and Hicho came back from the military. So there's this set, the like cozy set, which has like 5 per member, but I only have like enough cards to set up for 4 pages. Because I don't even have all of June's, I only have 4, so. And then this set, which is from the same fan meeting, but like a different set, also had 5. And again, I only have 4 of June, so I can't really set up sets yet. Because these sets aren't as distinct as some other ones. Like this one, this ORβIT Live The Best 2024, this one you can tell the sets very clearly. And then this one also had like a second set of trading cards, which were these live shots, but I don't think I'm going to collect all the members for these, so I just have 4 out of 6 for June, and then this one unit card in the middle from this set. And then this is like their latest one. It's a Dreamgate. It's Dreamgate 2. And I know this one only has 4 per member. So they released a new single, like a Christmas single, and I know that had cards attached to it, but I haven't bought anything yet. I'm waiting probably for the new year to start buying stuff again. I'm trying to give myself a little break. But yeah, that is it for this whole video. I'm surprised my phone didn't die, but I'm sure it's gonna give me a low battery notice soon. I hope y'all enjoyed. It was pretty long because I decided to include J-pop, but the thing is there will be timestamps. If you want to skip some, you can. I know 95% of you don't watch the whole video, so it's fine. I hope y'all have a great year. Y'all had a great year collecting. I know my year was very confusing for me because I changed my mind so many times that I'm still unsure of what I want to collect in the new year. So I have a lot of thinking to do. I hope y'all are in a better place than me when it comes to your collections. I hope y'all are enjoying collecting, because that's the main part. If it's stressing you out, maybe you need to take a step back, which I think I need to. I can't guarantee more videos in the new year because I don't have anything coming, and to have content you have to have stuff coming, which is a big thing. If you want to have consistency on your channel, you have to have things coming to be able to do these kinds of videos. So if you don't have anything coming, you don't have any consistency, and if you don't have any consistency, you don't have any views, and if you don't have any views, you can't grow. So essentially you need to be rich is what I'm saying, and I'm not. So yeah, that was a depressing end to this video, but it's all to say that the 2 videos a week that I put out in December, don't get used to it. Do not get used to it. That's not gonna be a normal thing from now on. But yeah, I've lost all the sunlight and it is very gloomy in here now. So I will end the video here. And with that, I'll see y'all in my next video, whenever that may be. Bye.